Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Junebug Rancho. Today we're digging deep, way down into the roots of a sound that changed the world, rock and roll. We all know the names Elvis, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, the titans of the genre. But what about the artists who paved the way? The forgotten pioneers whose groundbreaking sounds laid the foundation for the rock and roll explosion. Get ready because we're about to uncover the incredible stories of rock and roll's forgotten pioneers. To truly understand where rock and roll came from, we need to journey back to the vibrant and electrifying world of rhythm and blues in the 1940s and early 50s. This was a scene bursting with energy, raw emotion, and infectious rhythms, and it was here that the seeds of rock and roll were sown. Think about artists like Louis Jordan. With his swinging saxophone, witty lyrics, and jump blues sound, he was a massive star, racking up hit after hit like Caledonia and Choo Choo Boogie. His energetic stage presence and blend of blues, jazz, and boogie-woogie were undeniably influential. Then there was Wynonie Harris, a powerhouse vocalist known for his raw, bluesy delivery and songs like Good Rocking Tonight. That title alone hints at the seismic shift that was brewing. Harris's powerful voice and suggestive lyrics pushed the boundaries of popular music. And let's not forget Roy Brown, whose emotional vocals and bluesy laments like Good Rockin' Man were incredibly influential. His style, full of passion and grit, resonated deeply with audiences. These artists, and many more in the R&B scene, with their driving rhythms, bluesy vocals, and often rebellious spirit, were directly influencing the next generation. When you listen to early rock and roll icons like Chuck Berry and Little Richard, you can clearly hear the echoes of Jordan's swing, Harris's power, and Brown's soulful delivery. They were standing on the shoulders of these R&B giants. But the story doesn't end there. Another crucial ingredient in the rock and roll melting pot was country music. While seemingly different on the surface, country in the post-war era shared lyrical themes of hardship, love, and everyday life with the blues. And one artist stands out as a key bridge: Hank Williams. Hank Williams, with his raw and honest songwriting and his blend of country twang and bluesy undertones in songs like Move It On Over, was hugely popular. His music resonated with a broad audience and hinted at the crossover potential between these genres. Now, enter artists who actively started to fuse these sounds. Think about Bill Haley and the Comets. They took elements of country, added a heavy dose of blues and boogie-woogie rhythms, and created something entirely new. Their hit Rock Around the Clock is often cited as one of the first true rock and roll records. You can hear the country influence in the instrumentation, but the driving beat and energetic delivery were something fresh and exciting. These artists were actively experimenting, blurring the lines between country and what would soon become rock and roll. This fusion was instrumental in shaping the sound that would captivate the world, and it directly influenced artists like a young Elvis Presley who drew heavily from both country and blues traditions. This brings us to a pivotal moment, the birth of Rockabilly. This genre was the raw, energetic offspring of country, blues, and rhythm and blues, a truly American sound forged in the South. And at the heart of this explosion was a little label in Memphis called Sun Records. Sun Records, under the guidance of the legendary Sam Phillips, became a breeding ground for this new sound. And one artist who perfectly embodied the rockabilly spirit was Carl Perkins. His song Blue Suede Shoes wasn't just a hit, it was an anthem. It had the country twang, the bluesy feel, and that irresistible driving rhythm that defined rockabilly. Perkins's guitar playing was also incredibly influential, laying the groundwork for future rock guitarists. Of course, Sun Records also launched the careers of some other pretty significant names: Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis. While their styles evolved, their early work was deeply rooted in that rockabilly sound, a direct descendant of the R&B and country influences we've been discussing. Sun Records was the incubator where these diverse musical threads were finally woven together into something brand new and electrifying. So, by the mid-1950s, the stage was set. The groundwork laid by Louis Jordan's infectious rhythms, Wynonie Harris's powerful vocals, Roy Brown's soulful delivery, Hank Williams's crossover appeal, Bill Haley's genre-bending experiments, and the raw energy of rockabilly artists like Carl Perkins at Sun Records, all of this culminated in the explosion of rock and roll. Icons like Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard took these foundational elements and amplified them, adding their own unique flair and creating a cultural phenomenon that swept across the globe. Chuck Berry's guitar riffs and storytelling, Little Richard's flamboyant energy and piano pounding, and Elvis's charismatic stage presence, they all owed a debt to those earlier pioneers who dared to blend musical styles and push boundaries. Rock and roll wasn't born in a vacuum. It was a direct result of the innovation and artistry of these often overlooked figures. The legacy of these forgotten pioneers is profound and far-reaching. Their influence can be heard in countless genres that followed, from the raw energy of punk rock to the genre bending of indie music. Their spirit of musical exploration and their willingness to break down barriers continue to inspire artists today. It's so important to remember and celebrate these architects of rock and roll. While the superstars of the mid-50s rightly deserve their place in history, they stood on the shoulders of giants. By understanding the origins of rock and roll, by acknowledging the contributions of the rhythm and blues artists and the country crossover pioneers, we gain a richer and more complete appreciation for this revolutionary musical force. So, next time you hear a classic rock and roll track, remember the sounds that came before, the forgotten pioneers who dared to rock and roll before it even had a name. Their music laid the foundation for a genre that continues to inspire and move us. What are your favorite early influences on rock and roll? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more deep dives into music history, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. Thanks for watching, and keep on rocking!